going to be showing you how to install the TramlineZ bar from Stairrods UK. The one I'm going to be installing has got a 1mm recess for rigid tile with a peelable surface. Now these bars will actually accommodate an expansion gap of up to about 12 to 13mm, just by bringing it up to the edge. It's a high grade aluminium product and it's available in brass, antique, silver and black. It comes in lengths of 0.9, 1.8 and 2.7 metre lengths. Now this product is actually set at 8.5mm. The flooring I'm fitting up to is actually a 6.5. Any door bar which is being used with a stretch fit installation really needs to have the base raised up. To raise it, the Stairrods TramlineZ actually accommodates the easy wedge system. By placing an easy wedge underneath, I'll raise the base plate approximately about 4mm. But it's what that does, it also drops the front edge down to 6.5. If I put another wedge underneath, that front would actually drop down to 4.5, coming up to your floating LVTs. I'll just cut the bar to size, bring it into the area you're working with, or if it's a doorway, obviously measure it either with an adjustable straight edge or a tape measure. I'm just going to use a bit of masking tape on there, to help me see the mark better, and also to help keep the hacksaw blade in the same position, preventing from any scratching on the top of the bar. Always keep the blue film on top. This is protecting the bar from any unwanted scratching, but it's also stopping the double-sided tape underneath becoming contaminated with any debris from the area. So once I've marked it up, I can now get that bar cut down. As it is a higher grade aluminium, it does take a little bit longer to cut, but as long as you've got a decent blade in it, it should just sort of breeze through really. I can take the mask tape off. When you take the mask tape off, just make sure you don't peel the protective layer off as well. So when putting the bar into place, is what I'll do, I'll bring it right up to the edge of the flooring itself. I'll put a mark on both ends, but then I'm going to measure now for the expansion gap required. As it's out of sight, it's very difficult to gauge that you've got enough expansion underneath the Z bar. Once I've got my marks on the floor, I can just drop the bar back to those points, and that ensures if that floor does need to expand and contract, I've got enough space underneath for it to move. Once I'm happy with the position, I can now take some easy wedges. Now I'll mechanically fix this using ring shank nails. Just place a wedge underneath your nail hole. Make sure your bar's still in position. Then get the fixing into place. If you are going to use screws to mechanically fix, you must make sure that you've actually got a flat-headed screw. If you've got a dome head, it can actually cause the carpet to release from your anchoring pins. Once you've got the two ends fixed, it's just a case of working along each hole now. Again, wedge underneath. Just got an off-cut piece here. It can be any waste piece. This one's got the grain running lengthways, so it ties in with this floor. If the grain was going the opposite way, you could actually take the side grain and also install it into the bar to give it a through feature. So what I need to do is just measure the inlay size. That's coming in at 23.5mm. Just bring it up to the edge and mark that 23.5. I can do the same at the other end as well. Once I've got that marked up, Just take a straight edge. I know where to mark this end and the mark this end. I'm only cutting through the wear layer. It's only about 1 mil thick. Once I've scored that, I'll remove the masking tape. And I'll use the knife to get it started. So all I want to do is just ease the corner up. Just use the pliers to get it started. Once you've got enough to get a good hold on it, peel it off with a nice smooth action. Once I've got the surface layer off, I'm going to set that to one side. As you can see there, it's quite distorted. Is what I want to do is just roll it back on itself. Relieves any stresses and tensions in the material. Once it's rolled up, I'll just put a bit of masking tape on it to hold it in position. And then you set that to one side. I've now got the underlay installed. It's a 12mm underlay, this one, 11-12mm, so there's quite a height difference between the bar itself and the top of the underlay, but because I've raised the base up, that will actually compress down. I've put some black tape on there just to help the underlay stay in position. Can't go any further forward because it's against the bar itself, but you don't want to put any fixings in front of a doorway, and always fit these products to industry standards. So I'll just drop the carpet into position and I'll crease the carpet ready to go into the bar. Just form a crease. Now, so what I'm going to be doing is using a power stretcher on this. It's not advisable to be stretching into aluminium door bars with a power stretcher, but this is just really to show you how strong the actual bar is itself. Once you've locked that in position, just crease that down onto the pins. Make sure you've got a good hold on that. Even tucking it slightly underneath if need to. Once that's on, I can release . Once that's now stretched on, we've got good tension on the carpet. We can now get the carpet tucked in for the bar itself. The reason we don't cut the carpet first is if I did cut it and then stretch it in, I've only got about 12mm. I might need more stretch than that. Also, to make the bar work properly, if I cut it slightly oversized, then I actually fold the carpet into the bar. So it's what the top layer is doing. Top layer is pushing down on the bottom layer. Push down the bottom layer and pushing it right onto the pins itself. So in theory, there's no way that that carpet can come out of that bar. Now we've got the carpet installed, you can see I've left the protective tape on, as I mentioned earlier, but you can see the amount of debris you get, obviously, from installing the carpet. If any of that got onto the adhesive itself, it would impair the adhesion of the inlay. So what I'll do is I'll just give that a quick brush over, remove most of the major bits. Now I can peel off the protective layer. Make sure you get it all off. Once that's done, I can now take the topping off the tape. This is a high contact tape. It will build pressure over time. I can take my inlay piece. And then firstly, it depends on where you've got your inlay from. You might actually have an offcut of the plank itself, or you could actually be using a bit of waste. just bring it up to the edge and choose which part of the grain works the best. So this end, got quite a distinctive grain there, but I've also got the darker part of the grain there. Now on the other end of this inlay, I've also got a dark piece there, so I will go with that bit. Line it up into the trim and try not to stretch the product, just place it in. If you stretch it, it could actually shrink back on you. It's only a vinyl based product. So once it's in, then just give it a bit of pressure, and that's that bar finished off. As you can see, it gives it a nice tram line, but it blends it in really well. Obviously blends it in perfectly with the flooring, as it's the same product itself.